Then I even cried thinking about it. I've been harassed. I hear somebody talking behind me. I hear a word hit. And I look back and he looks straight in my eye and I'm gonna hit you with your phone if you don't get the fuck out of my way. This is steak he was holding. I was more shocked that this is actually happening to me and like biggest relief I ever had. I knew this is one of the reasons why I was scared to become a mother, is physically be there so when I need to protect them physically, I can. I'm capable. Hi everyone, welcome back to another mukbang. Today I am back with some spicy carbonara instant noodles, and this is Korean dessert called hot dog. Originally it's filled with like brown sugar, but this one has red bean and I never tried it before, which is really cool because it came frozen and all I had to do was pan fry it and then voila, it looks like this. It looks so yummy. And then for today's drink I have strawberry milk. Because I don't know how this is gonna go down. I love spicy food, but you know, like just my tolerance is just very questionable at this point. Because sometimes I feel like I could take a lot of heat, but the reality is I added extra. Well, I left extra water in here because I knew I won't be filming right away. You know, the setup and all that stuff like that. But it's still very dry looking, but it's really not. I don't know if you guys noticed, but I'm talking pretty softly. I don't think I need to, but I just put Aiden to bed and I'm hoping that he will be just the same as last night and do his 3-hour sleep before next feeding. I hope he doesn't wake up before that because I want to film. Which is pretty crazy. I can't believe I have a baby at home and I'm doing this right now. I never thought that day would come. He's still not doing like full night sleep. Like he doesn't sleep through the night, and that won't happen for a while, which is okay. And I got a really good nap this morning, so I feel really good. Okay. My favorite flavor from the fire noodle line. I've always added like bacon or some kind of sausage or just like, you know, meat, but once I took this bite I'm like, I feel like a scallop would be so good with this. I think next time I'm gonna really add scallop in here. It's coming up. I think he's awake. Oh my goodness, I don't even know how long I was gone, but anyways, he woke up a little bit. Oh man, he's been really good about not waking up once he falls asleep, but I gotta stay cautious and stay alert. But I'm just so hungry. Maybe it's just me, but It comes off a little sweet for me. It's good. Not compared to other ones. I feel like sometimes I'm so alert that everything kind of sounds like a baby cry. I don't know if you know what I mean, but wow. It's very thin layer of red bean, but oh, I like this. So they have ones with like something more savory, like chives. Oh my god, this is so good. I want to kind of like take a step back, do a leisure, like very just chilled mukbang, but I might have to just kind of get to the point. The reason why I wanted to film like one thing that I wanted to talk about today. I hear like a very high pitched like woman's voice. I'm from outside, and my immediate response is, "Oh my god, is Aiden about to cry?" I'm sure a lot of moms can agree to this. Anyways, so the other day, if you guys follow me on Instagram, you guys know that I've been harassed by this man in the streets. I'm thinking that he is a homeless guy. If you look at him, he doesn't look homeless. The way he talked to me, he didn't seem like. Because a lot of people are telling me that he's just very mentally unstable. He could be, but he just came off so just normal. The way his speech was just clean, normal. But basically what happened was, actually it was just a horrible day for me. Like there was another incident in the morning that I probably won't cover for a while. Anyways, I was out. I went to go visit my friends with Aiden, of course. Came home, and then I decided to walk Ame with Aiden on my body carrier. So we walked for really quick. When we came back, I realized that my phone was in the car. Some of you guys know this already, but we have to park on the streets. There's no designated parking area for this apartment, so we have to park on the streets. And most of the days I am able to park like right in front of the apartment. But that day wasn't the case. I had to park like a half block, at most, away from the apartment. So not big deal, right? Really close. It doesn't even take like a minute to walk there. So I came home after the walk, and I realized that my phone was in the car, and I was hesitating, like, oh, should I like take Aiden with me? Even though it's like a really quick trip, should I take Aiden with me, or should I just like kind of run fast and come back fast? I'm like, it's gonna be so quick. I'm just gonna go by myself. Aiden and Ame was both home. I'm like, it's gonna be so quick. It's gonna maybe take me like 2 minutes at most, right? So I left both of them at home. I locked all the doors. I run to my car, and of course my phone was in the car. So I get the car, I get the phone, and I lock the car, and I started walking back. I remember there were like a few people around where I parked. It's still like 4 or 5 in the afternoon, so I'm like, of course, there's people out, right? It's still very bright outside. So as I was walking back, I see a stray cat, right? So I took my phone out and I was trying to take a photo, and I hear this guy. I hear somebody talking behind me, and I wasn't sure if he was talking to me, but I hear a word hit. And I look back, and he looks straight in my eye and says, "If you don't get out of my way, I will hit you. And I'm just like, is he really like talking to me? And then he repeated again that like, he's gonna hit me if I don't move. So I'm like, okay. I thought he was just kind of like, I don't know. Maybe I was just blocking his way. Maybe he was walking fast, or I don't know. So I take a step to the side, and then he goes like wrong way. And then he started coming towards me, and I'm just like, okay, what the fuck, right? So I started like walking away. I like trying to walk to the block across, and he kept following me. And I take my phone out, hoping that it will kind of like scare him and stop following me. So I started recording him, right? And then he goes, I'm gonna hit you with your phone if you don't get the fuck out of my way. And I'm just like, okay. So if you guys saw the video, I'm saying like, okay. I was like responding to him that I'm getting out of your way, like, you know, like no trouble here, right? So once I get to the other side of the block, he finally like walks away. In the moment, I'm just like more than scared. I think I was more shocked that this is actually happening to me and like why he's doing this to me, you know? I think the moment when he started following me, I was just like, I am so glad that I didn't bring Ahmed or Aiden out. I'm so glad. I don't know, maybe he wouldn't have harassed me like that if I had a kid. I don't know. But I'm just so glad they weren't there, right? So I'm like, okay, I gotta rush home. I gotta make sure they're safe. I mean, they are safe in here, right? They were safe in the house, but I'm like, I want to rush home because I felt very unsafe. So I was going home. I was trying to take my key out. I'm like, I don't see my key. I'm like, oh my god, where's my house key? I only have my car key, right? I'm like freaking out. I'm like, maybe did I drop it and maybe he picked it up and just like walked away. I don't know what happened, right? So I was retracing my steps, and then I couldn't find it. And I get to my car, and then of course I dropped it in the car. I'm like, oh my god, that was like the biggest relief I ever had. Well, this year at least. So I get my car key, I lock the car. I immediately text Tong that somebody told me he was gonna hit me or whatever, that I was being harassed. And then I was like already tearing up as I was like writing that, and then Tong calls me, and then as soon as I pick up, I didn't even have to hear his voice. I just started bawling. I just started crying so much. So I was just like, I just ran home. I was just crying. I couldn't say anything, so I ran home. I get inside, you know, obviously Aiden wasn't even crying. He was fine in his crib. Ahmed was just like, I don't even think he knew I left the house, right? So I called Tong back, and I just started, he's like, what happened? And then I just started crying. Like I couldn't talk for a minute because I was just like trying not to cry, right? I feel like I should eat this. Sorry. And I told him that this is what happened, blah blah. He was so upset. He was so upset. I actually didn't even realize that. He told me later when he got that call. Then I even cried thinking about it. Anyways, he told me that after he got that call, he left work because he works nearby. He left work and he went around entire block. I think he covered a pretty big area to find this guy. He didn't, because he had a photo of him. I videoed him and I showed it to him, and he tried to find this guy, but he said he couldn't. So yeah, he was pissed. And as soon as like he came home that night, like he gave me a big hug, and he's like, let's get you a gun, let's get you a pepper spray. I'm not gonna get a gun. I did get a pepper spray. It is on my keys. I'm always prepared. It's funny, like, I think a few days later, I kind of forgot about how I felt, like how scared I was. So I've been like purposely like trying to go to the similar area. It's not even like a dangerous area. It's so, I don't even know why. I don't know if he was crazy. Maybe I don't know exactly why he did what he did. I'm just hoping he's just crazy, that he wasn't discriminating anybody or whatever. I hope he was just crazy. That's what I'm hoping. But anyways, I was kind of hoping that I would find this guy, right? And then because I was gonna pepper spray him. But anyways, but no, of course I'd rather not see him. But anyways, after this, when I came home, I could not stop shaking. I was just shivering, shaking, and Aiden had to be fed. And I felt like this strong emotion that I had, I was just really scared that it would transfer to him when I was feeding him. So I was trying so hard not to cry and just act normal. But oh my gosh, I was like feeding him. I was just like, you know, I was holding him, right? And then I was just kind of, I had my head turned and just kept crying. I could not stop because it would have been completely different. Maybe I would have taken as harsh if I didn't have a baby. But knowing that this could have happened when I had Aiden with me, and I have no idea what I would have done. What if he actually did more than just threatening me? What if he actually took action? Like, what would I have done? Because I think the moment I realized that, oh, I gotta, like, I don't want to risk anything. I don't want to push him. I don't want to trigger him anything. I need to stay safe because Aiden needs me. That's like one of the first thing I thought. And the entire night, I kept crying. I cried. Seriously, I cried the entire night. And like, even though I was home, it still affected me. Like, I was making sure that all the windows were down and my doors were locked. I kept checking. I kept checking over and over. And whenever I heard like people outside, I would just kind of flinch a little bit. I know there are worse things that is happening to the world, and a lot of people experience something crazier, worse, scarier, or some people live without experiencing anything like that. I thought I would be that kind of person. I thought I would not. I mean, I see it in the news. I see it. I hear it from people. I never thought I would experience something like this, right? I think my main concern that night was, what would I do? What should I do if this does happen when I have Aiden with me? Because safety is number one, obviously. But being a mother, I have to protect my child. And how could I do that? And to be honest, pepper spray will probably only work if I was alone and this happened again. Because I heard that pepper spray doesn't like go directly to the guy, to your target. It's just everywhere. So like, as soon as you use the pepper spray, you gotta run. I don't know if I'll be able to do that with Ame. Ame just doesn't run. Aiden, I don't know. I feel like it'll affect him no matter what. Even the little bit of it will affect him like really bad. So I don't know if this is something that I want to use when I have him with me. That's why in the Instagram, I uploaded a story saying like, do I need to pick up like boxing or karate or judo? You know, for self-defense. And I think that's like one of the reasons why I was always kind of like scared to become a mother, or like why I thought it would be better not becoming a mother, is because once you have a baby, this living human is depending on you for until however old, you know. Like, I have to protect this child with my life, and I thought that just seemed like so much for somebody to take the responsibility. Not the responsibility of being a mother is just so much more than breastfeeding them, bathing them, you know, changing a diaper. It's so much more than that. And I knew this is one of the reasons why I was scared to become a mother, is because like the amount of anxiety that's gonna build up as because of your child and being a mother. It's a lot. It's a lot of responsibility. I mean, yeah, motherhood isn't just about like you're surrounded by these crazy people all the time and you have to constantly think about protecting your child. It's not always like that. It's not a 24/7 thing, but it is a huge part of it, right? And you know, from last video I talked about daycare, and a lot of you guys said you guys don't send them to daycare because you're so unsafe there. You just don't know what's happening. And exactly that. It's one of the responsibilities that mother has to decide. Because whatever you decide on, that's your responsibility. Like, you don't ask a child. I mean, you do, but in the end, like, you decide, right? If they want to go to daycare or not. And the anxiety that comes with being a mother is... Honestly, I thought I was doing pretty good until that night. I definitely was scared that after I have this kid, I'll be so anxious all the time. Like, what if somebody wants to touch my baby? Or like would I be anxious whenever I take the baby out in public? I was kind of scared that I'll be like that, and I don't think there's anything wrong with it. Postpartum is real. It depends on everybody. Everybody's different, and if a mother feels that way, I think it's absolutely okay. It happens all the time. But for me, I just really didn't want to be anxious. Like, I hate being anxious. That's the only reason why I was hoping that I wasn't too scared to go to public with a baby, or like having other people like touch him or like hold him, you know. Thankfully, it didn't last very long. Obviously, the first 2 weeks when I came back from the hospital, I was just like, everyone wear a mask, don't touch my baby yet. But after that, I feel pretty good about it. I didn't really feel anxious at all, actually. And I felt completely okay going to public. If my friends wanted to hold the baby, go ahead, I'm fine with it. So I didn't have any of the anxiety. I thought I was doing pretty good. And I did feel, you know, you guys know that I felt bad about not being able to breastfeed for him. But that was kind of it. I didn't have anxiety. That night, I thought about so many things. I thought I had to make decisions. Like, I had to take action on like a lot of things. Like, do I have to find a new place right away? Do I have to ask for do I have to terminate the current lease? You know, where are we gonna move to? Like, what's safer than here? I think if I didn't have a child, maybe I wouldn't have been as scared for him to hit me. He didn't have any weapon. He just kind of like threatened me with words and like him chasing me a little bit. Besides that, like, I didn't see him like taking out anything, or he was armed or anything like that, right? Maybe if I didn't have a baby, I would have been like kind of asking him questions like, why are you doing this? Like, what did I do to you? Like, did I do something wrong? Like, I'll be more like, maybe I would have tried to communicate. I don't know. But because I have a dependent that I cannot risk my health, I cannot risk my safety. It's not just about, it's so much, oh man. And I thought carrying him in my belly for 10 months was hard. Maybe I wouldn't have been as scared for him to hit me. He didn't have any weapon. He just kind of like threatened me with words and like him chasing me a little bit. Besides that, like I didn't see him like taking out anything or he was armed or anything like that, right? Maybe if I didn't have a baby, I would have been like kind of asking him questions like, why are you doing this? Like, what did I do to you? Like, maybe I would have tried to communicate. I don't know. But because I have a dependent that I cannot risk my health, I cannot risk my safety. It's so crazy, right? My gosh, becoming a mother is just scary. It's not just about, it's so much, oh man. And I thought carrying him in my belly for 10 months was hard. It's funny because it's almost been a week since that happened and I'm forgetting that feeling that I had, that feeling very scared and just anxious. Like I've almost forgot that feeling. I think that's why I'm okay to like go outside and like just act normal again, because like after that night, the next day I was just so like alert. I was like looking around in the front and back when I was walking Ame. And actually like a day or two after, I was walking Ame in the morning and then I saw some guy coming from like a block down. I didn't see like exactly how he looked like. So the guy that harassed me was like shirtless, like top off. Like, and I wouldn't think that he was homeless or crazy because it was like 80 to 90 degrees that day. A lot of people walk around with their top off, with like shirtless or like whatever, right? So I didn't think much of it. I don't think it was crazy, you know? So anyways, a few days after, like I saw some guy walking towards me. He was just going that way. He wasn't walking to me, right? But like about a block away. And I see his like figure. He was like under like a shadow. So I couldn't really see what he was wearing, but he looked like he had like his shirt off. And he had this like stick like he was holding. So I thought, oh my god. First response was, it's that guy. Because he looked like he was like shirtless. But then the closer I got to him, I actually moved to a different block because I was kind of scared. But like when he was getting closer, I looked at him. It's a completely different guy. His shirt just made him look like he was shirtless. And he was just holding the stick that was, I don't know, it wasn't a weapon or anything. So I was like, man, I'm going crazy. But one thing that I was more just as scared about after this incident is that I don't want to live in fear. Like I don't want to like constantly like be anxious when I'm outside or just because this happened. Like I don't want to restrain myself from going like out in public with Aiden. I still want to keep doing what we were doing. Go out for meals, like me and Aiden go on dates together and all that. And like walking Ame, I don't want to like give up the quality of our walk because of this man. But anyways, that's what happened. So I am walking around with pepper spray. I am very, very hoping that I will never have to use it. That's why like it motivates me more to work out. Like I want to be physically fit. So if I have to run, I could run with both dog and a kid in my arms. Like I want to be able to do that. I want to be a super mom. And super mom is so wide. It could be super mom in so many ways. And I feel like every mom is a super mom. But you know what I mean? Like I want to physically be there. So when I need to protect them physically, I'm capable. So I think that's like my biggest motivation right now to work out. Is like in the beginning it was like I gotta lose weight, I gotta lose this flab, I want to be like skinnier than before. So that was like my number one motivation. But now like just as much I want to be fit more than just losing weight now, because like I said, I gotta protect my children. So I've been vlogging, right? My pregnancy journey after giving birth. So I've been vlogging, and in the beginning, I'm sure a lot of you guys got the vibe that, oh, she's not that attached to her child. Like, does she even love her child? All that. But let me tell you, I am so attached to this baby. I just want to hold him right now. Like, before, like, if he's sleeping, I would just like kind of walk away. I would let him sleep and hoping that he doesn't wake up for the next hour or two, right? But now if he sleeps more than an hour, I'm like, I just want to wake him up and just hold him and kiss him. He's just so cute. I love him so much. He's so cute. And like in the beginning, him and Ame didn't like kind of like, I didn't like really care about them getting along in the beginning, because like I was just so busy trying to keep this baby alive and trying to figure out his like feeding and all that, and like letting Ame just kind of cope on his own. Like I didn't want to shove the baby in his face, right? But now that, you know, like we've been living together for like a 2 month now, that every time like Aiden like wakes up and he's in a good mood, I would just kind of like sit next to Ame with the baby, and like we would just kind of talk to each other. And Ame's been pretty good. He's not a licker, so he doesn't really lick the baby, but he does sniff him a lot, which is really cute. And I'm grateful that he's not like slobbering all over the baby, because I would feel bad kind of like telling him no, although it's an obvious thing to like, you don't want the baby to like slop like, you know, drool all over the baby's face, right? But you know, the fact that I would have to say no to that is kind of like, I wish I didn't have to do that, and I don't. So anyways, yeah, that was actually one of the main reasons why I wanted to film today's mukbang. Is because I wanted to let you guys know that that has happened to me, and I want everyone to stay safe and always be alert. I wish we did live in a world where we don't have to worry about that kind of stuff when you're going out for a walk with your dog or with your baby, or just getting a key from the car. But I guess we're just not in that kind of world anymore. And I do wish that it does get better, because I do want Aiden to live in a better world than now. But so it's getting pretty late. I gotta clean up and like get back to Aiden and maybe try to nap a little bit. But anyways, I hope you guys enjoyed my story time. I know it was pretty negative, but I know I'm going to end the video. I just keep talking, but I'm glad that it wasn't anything more than that. I think it was kind of a good wake-up call for me, because maybe like even with the baby, maybe I was just too carefree, thinking that yeah, there's no crazy people out. I could just freely go anywhere and like not have to feel scared or whatever. Maybe I was too carefree. Of course, like I said, I don't want to live in fear. I don't want to live like that, of course. But I think it was a good wake-up call for me, just to be cautious a little bit more. Don't be too carefree, right? Because now that I have somebody to protect, so I thought I would kind of deliver a similar message to you guys, that don't be too carefree like me. And always protect yourself, always be safe. I hope you guys enjoyed today's mukbang, and I'll see you guys in the next video. Check out my vlogs. I'll see you guys next time.